everyone. I'm Diana Ransom, and welcome to day 3 of Inc.'s Founders House. I'm thrilled to be here. It's great to meet all of you. It's probably going to be a beautiful day, I think, 75 degrees, so enjoy. And it's not too hot up here right now, so this is great. I am joined on stage by 2 incredible speakers, and I can't wait to introduce you all. So Melissa Ben-Ishay is the co-founder and CEO of Baked by Melissa. They make really delightful small cupcakes. And we have Brian Irving, who is the CMO of a little company called Lyft. Thank you for being here. So we're talking about customer obsession, and the idea is like you're obsessed with your customers, and then your customers become obsessed with you, and it's this like virtuous cycle, right? We want this to happen. So you all obviously know how to do it, so we want to learn from you. So first of all, Melissa, why don't you kick us off? What is your definition of customer obsession and being obsessed with your customers?
That's a loaded question. I guess, what does it look like? Everyone at Baked by Melissa knows that I am obsessed with our customer. I actually am in all the newsletter reviews, and I was just talking about it yesterday with one of my team members, and I get it, and I connect with them, and I am here to make sure that everything we do is intentional and creates the connection with our customer. They are the reason that I get to sit up here and talk to you all today. They are the reason that we get to make people happy with our bite-sized treats, during all of your moments, both big and small. They are the reason for so much that we get to work towards shared goals. And so we have to listen to them. We have to connect with them, whether they're providing us with feedback, which isn't always easy to hear, but it's coming from somewhere, or if they're just on the receiving end of something that we're doing, or if they're watching me on social media make a salad. And I think that first salad I posted on TikTok that went crazy viral, I understood immediately as an opportunity to create a long-lasting connection and relationship and build a community of people. And I see that everywhere.
Well, I personally appreciated, I had this idea long ago where I was like, when you want to get a cookie, you just want one cookie. And not like a giant one, you just want a small cookie, and you don't want an entire package. And then when I remember finding your cupcakes, I was like, this is it. All I wanted was a small cupcake. So I felt like seen. So anyway, I appreciate that.
We make them small so you could try them all.
Yeah, there you go. So guiltless. So Brian, let's talk about your definition of customer obsession, and I want to see if how much that overlaps with Lyft.
Yeah, I love first of all, the word intentionality, because that is at the root of all of this. So Lyft, if you think about it, is a real-time customer obsession engine, really, because at any moment there are probably 6 people outside right now that are ordering a Lyft, and they're all going to different places and for different reasons. And they might have luggage because they're going to the airport, so they need a different car, or they might have 5 of their colleagues with them, so they need an XL. And so we have to be obsessed not just about the notion of getting someone from point A to point B, but about getting the right driver in the right vehicle at the right time, at the right price, with the right promotion, and then now multiply that by every city in the U.S. and Canada. So we are constantly obsessed, and I think the big thing for me has been really bringing in not just what's happening, where are they going, but why. What is their journey? Is it about work? And so can we introduce things that make predictability of getting to the office every day just one less thing you have to worry about, so you don't have to worry is the price going to be $4 more than yesterday? No, we can let's take the predictability and make that something that we obsess over their why, And so I think that's a super important aspect of it as well.
And then what about staying with you for a minute longer, what about the various campaigns that Lyft has run? I'm thinking of the congestion pricing deal that you were doing in New York City. So for those of you who don't know, New York City launched this congestion pricing plan where any car driving into a certain area in the city gets dinged with a toll, a pretty pricey toll, where it was $16 and then it became $9. Anyway, the point is, Lyft offered basically a credit to users for a period of 1 month, right when the month when the program kicked off. So the credit could be used toward renting out a city bike or a future car rental or ride share.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Yep.
So where was the thought? What was the thought behind that?
Just being in the ethos of the customer in New York at the beginning of the year. You go into the new year thinking anything's possible. It's a new year. All things are bright and shiny. and like wham, like riders in New York are hit with this extra toll when people don't need to pay another $1.50 for every ride that they take. And so we thought, like, you know, yes, we did the marketing for it, but the bigger thing was actually the brand in action, you know, like putting literally our money where our mouth is, of like, we're obsessed about you, we care about you, we know that this sucks for you, and so we're going to put $1.50 back into your credit every month.
But your competitor, your biggest competitor, did not do that.
They did not.
Right. So, I mean, do you feel good about that, or did you feel like you were missing out, or I mean, maybe what's better question is, like, what was the feedback on that?
I mean, we got tremendous feedback from our customers. Just, I mean, social just lit up of people just going like, I feel seen, Lyft, thank you, which I think that is the big thing. And a little bit of like, okay, Lyft, like, I see you like doing some cool stuff. And that also I think is great, but we saw rides growth, which also was great, was not the intent, but like we just wanted to do something good. And yeah, I feel incredibly proud. And I think that those are the kind of actions that a customer obsessed company can take, because you know what's going on.
Right, listening to your customers. So speaking of listening to your customers, Melissa, what's a good example of something that you've deployed at Baked by Melissa that you did because your customers told you should do this?
So many things.
Yeah.
I actually think our customers are responsible for our strategy in so many ways. We launched gluten-free cupcakes and vegan cupcakes in response to our customers, actual moms who were writing in through customer happiness or through our website and telling us, oh my God, that like Johnny wasn't able to participate in the class celebration because he can't have wheat. And so if you would ever consider making gluten-free cupcakes, we would really appreciate it. We now have a dedicated gluten-free bakery where we produce gluten-free bite-sized cupcakes, and now we get the thank yous from the moms.
Yes,
and
you do.
Similar with vegan, actually, my oldest daughter has someone in her class where the mom like felt it necessary to call me on the phone and like tell me, oh my God, like, no, you can bring the cupcakes in. Here, this is the vegan assortment. This is what I give him. And like, he's totally fine when he eats it. And that was just like, it's amazing. And it's so validating. And I mean, if you're not listening to the people who are experiencing your product in real time, then you're missing a really big opportunity.
My son has celiac, so I definitely appreciate the gluten-free option. So thank you for that. Again, I love the cupcakes. So how do, this question for both of you, how do you track the feedback? So obviously someone in this situation called you, but generally speaking, how do you know what your customers are saying? Brian, or you want to go?
Well, social media has become this place where everyone feels comfortable just like saying anything, voicing anything. They don't have to be nice. They just like rail into you. But if you can take that and you could do something positive with it and meet them with love, which I do all the time. Thank you so much. Sending you love because you need it most, clearly. But like I'm in social media, obviously, and I'm reading all the comments. And then, of course, you could email through our website. I think it's like info@bakedbymelissa. You know, we have the chat bot. I mean, there are so many ways to be in communication with us, and our customer uses it.
Okay. And then Brian.
Yeah, similarly, I mean, social is obviously a huge channel for us to collect feedback. We also have customer support, and with both customers, so we have drivers and riders, and so we get very different feedback from both of them, and so we're constantly mining that in real time. And then, you know, we're a scaled company compared to a lot of other companies, so we also have the luxury of being able to like commission research and like go out and proactively talk to customers as well, knowing that that's a luxury. But yeah, we really try to round out and making sure that we're like just constantly looking at signals that may be leading indicators of things that we're doing really well and people appreciate, and then also really listening and taking a human approach to the feedback that is painful, to your point, at times, but is coming from somewhere that we need to listen to and we do pay attention to.
And just to piggyback off of what Brian said, we also have a customer happiness team. We are a small business, but it's so important to us. I've been they try and sell me AI bullshit. Like, no, we need real people.
I was gonna actually ask Brian about AI.
With our customers. And I do believe in AI and using it to make your business most efficient. But not when it comes to dealing with customers, because that's so important. The retail team also providing that firsthand feedback is also like gold.
And Brian, a company as large as yours, I assume you are using technology for customer feedback. And what are the problems with that, or what are the benefits?
Yeah, I mean, so like we announced a partnership with Anthropic, I think it was last month now, where on customer support, it's just helping us like faster resolve issues that are just like something happened, we're like, great, like we're going to give you the credit back right away. Like it just is helping us do that. It's also helping us analyze all the data because we get so many signals from everywhere. It helps us analyze it quickly. But to Melissa's point, like there is no substitute for human judgment and for human and like talking to human beings, and like just will not replace those two things, because it's just critical in this path. Like human judgment is absolutely critical.
Right. I mean, I guess at some point the AI like handles the basic needs, and then once a human touch is necessary, the human who's on your team gets the flag that they need to come in.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give a quick tip that I have started using lately, which is Notebook LLM, where I get all the documents that like of meetings, presentations, and all the stuff that I'm going to have this week. I drop them in there, create the 10-minute podcast, and I listen to them on my commute into the office so that I don't have to read every single document ahead of time. I've just like, you know, I've done my little podcast thing, and I'm like, great, I have a grounding for what's going to happen for the week ahead.
You have a podcast?
What's it called?
You call this a podcast of like customer reviews or customer responses?
I am not marketing Google's products, I swear, but I'm just giving you a little tip. It is called Notebook LLM, and it is part of like Gemini and all that stuff, and you can just dump all these documents in, ask it questions, it'll analyze it, pull back a one-sheeter, but it'll also turn it into a podcast that is kind of remarkable about how compelling and accurate it is.
Amazing. I love this pro tip. Thank you for that. Everyone, I just wanted to mention that we are kind of try to leave some time open for your questions about when we have about 5 minutes left. So I will flag when we're ready and just start thinking about a question. So obviously getting feedback is really important, but where do you draw the line? I mean, you can't respond to every single thing somebody asks of you, right? Melissa.
That's correct. I try and leave it at orders, you know, so if somebody listen, we work with FedEx. Even FedEx makes mistakes, and I deal with that is the most frequently messaged thing. Like, my order was supposed to be delivered. You suck. Like, you messed up my daughter's birthday party. And it doesn't happen all too often, but when you're dealing with thousands of orders, like, it does happen. And I would say, like, that is the most. What was the question?
The question was, oh, actually, that was interesting, but that really did not.
What was the question? I don't remember.
The question was about, like, you're getting a lot of feedback and you can't really respond to every single request.
That's true.
Suggestion.
We don't. But actually, like, our customer happiness team exists to respond to everything. And then as far as I'm concerned,
you can't, like,
we don't make everything better.
Everything,
but we do spend money, like, replacing orders that, like, FedEx messed up, because I'd rather have a happy customer that's going to come back and can trust that we will make it right than someone who just feels like negatively towards us.
Right. Well, I mean,
I totally agree. I mean, like the scale similarly, like we have a support team that is there to help resolve vast number of issues or comments that come through, and in most instances, we are there to resolve it, and we'll provide something back because it's like we want to maintain that brand love and that brand loyalty. And as I talk to like my team, I tell them a lot. I'm like, you can just come into my room and like shut the door and just rant at me for 5 minutes and then open the door and walk out, and that's okay. Like, you don't need anything of me. You just need to be able to get things out. And sometimes customers just need to be able to get things out in that room, and we need to listen to it. We acknowledge it. We see if there's anything in there, but sometimes people just need to say something.
But you just said you do that with your team, right?
Yeah.
Which, so do I. I like beg them. I'm like, talk shit to me. Like, tell me what's frustrating you, because that you're giving me the problems that it's up to me to solve. Like, I just need to know what is not working. But it's for whatever reason, it doesn't come naturally to be. They'll talk. I mean, talking shit and speaking negatively comes naturally to all humans, in my opinion, but not to me. You know, and like I want to hear it because I'm the one who can fix it.
Yeah, I mean, there's like creating a safe space to be like, come in, say the thing, and then let me know if you need anything. And if you don't, that's okay. Sometimes you just need to rant and get it off your chest. We've moved on. It's great. Yeah.
Love it. So, Melissa, you mentioned this, you making a salad earlier, and how that viral video, or the video went viral. So you've been putting yourself out there more and more. You were always sort of on social media, but you've been putting yourself out there more and more. You become more of the face of a lot of different stuff going on. So when you're putting yourself out there personally, how does the feedback loop change? Like, so you're getting feedback on you now, and how do you receive that?
So full disclosure, before I answer that question, when I saw the panel topic, I was like, oh, like I'm talking about how my customers are obsessed with me, which is so messed up. But anyway, that's what I thought. So I'm so self-centered. I am not going to lie. It is very difficult to read comments or even watch videos at times that are intended to hurt me, or they're just not nice. I think a lot. I mean, if I'd be lying if I said like I rise above it. It actually affects me, and it's just messed up. And I have 2 young daughters, so I just feel so fortunate to be so in it as a way to understand the world my children are growing up in. And I meet it with love is the answer. I think, and what I tell my kids is like the mean kids are the sad kids. Like it holds true for social media more than ever. Like, who in their right, sorry if these are, I don't think, but like who does that? Who goes out of their way to say something negative to somebody? Like somebody who's sad, and I send them love. Truly, like, thank you, sending you love, but I also don't engage with most of them.
Also, why would they complain? You're helping them make salads and like teaching them how to cook. Like, what do people complain about? Or criticize?
I picture these people not having as much human interaction in a day as people probably should.
Okay.
You know, and they're kind of like not understanding the way it's being perceived. But there are so many different facets of it. I mean, like, and the truth is, I dealt with more hate earlier on, and I made a choice not to engage with it. And when I really couldn't control myself, just to say sending you love. And I think as a result, maybe I've just led by example. Like, it's really a place of love.
So you'll actually literally respond, sending you love?
Yes.
Okay.
With a heart, a red heart. And then I've also, like, there are times when somebody is just like incorrect, and I will respond. And it's funny because if I do it in an on-brand way, it gets so much engagement. Like, people love it. They love to see me respond to the haters in a way that is on brand. And again, I do it so infrequently, but there are just times when it needs to be done.
So do you like throw in some tie-dye and like what's what's an on-brand way to respond?
I'm like, as I'm responding, I'm trying to think of one that I did so well recently, because it has like hundreds of just like hearts, my comment, but I don't remember on it. Like, I mean, people love to like tell me how they do things better, which is fine. People like will yell at me in the comments about I try not to be controversial, but like not standing up for Israel and like being Jewish. And like, why would I like that? I don't want to create a place of hate or controversy. That's not what I do. Like, I inspire people to bake outside the lines and create nutritious and delicious meals to feed their family and make your life easier and better. Like, go turn on CNN. I don't know what to tell you, you know? Like, why do I have to be everything for everybody? Yeah. But those I actually
I guess that's
ignore.
where you draw the line, right?
Yeah.
Brian, how does Lyft handle negative feedback? Or and also not just how you handle it, but maybe how you use it.
I mean, I want to answer by picking up on something that you said, which is like, you think about the people who they haven't had a lot of human interaction. And this is 100% true. Like, this is like, as society, we are less connected. We are less out in the world. And frankly, like I saw this recent stat that made me feel so sad, and it was that Gen Z felt like 82% of Gen Z responded saying that they want to be out in the world more, but they don't feel like they have the tools for human connection. And like this is like so part of what like we are trying to actually, like, our purpose is to serve and connect as a company. It's not just to get somewhere from point A to point B, but it really is like understanding these societal trends and like help provide them not just like the means to get out there, but the motivation as well. Because it like a lot of this stuff that we're talking about is because people are isolated, they're stuck in this world of like algorithms feeding them the same thing over and over again. And I think that through things like passionately like nourishing your family and like providing human connection, we actually can make a difference in the world, not just create great businesses.
Lead by example.
That's right.
And I mean, and like we were talking about that this morning, actually. Like since COVID, like, you know, we all went through this like really traumatic period where there was no real in-person human interaction. I was fortunate to have a husband and kids, so it affected me differently. And I'm still saying that like I feel different in social situations. And I talk to my phone all day on Thursdays creating content. I'm literally like, that is not social. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then I go out and people are like, oh my God, hi. And I'm just like, hi, this is like, I don't even feel like, you know? It's
you have to like reground
versus
yourself.
reality. Yeah, it's crazy.
I was walking the streets yesterday. That sounded really weird. I was walking around and I overheard a conversation from between two people that said something, and I do not know if this is true, that apparently 40% of Gen Z guys have never asked somebody out on a date. That kind of like shocks me a little bit, because you were just talking about you're not meeting in person, you're not doing these things.
Meeting in person is on the decline, going out is on the decline, sex is on decline, like things that like help us develop who we are and our identity and humanity are all on the decline. And like, how do we get that back?
But think about it. Like, they spent, 3 years of like the most formidable part of their adolescence in isolation, and like with parents who love them so much and want to keep them safe. And like, I can't, like, my heart went out to that like generation during COVID. As a parent of kids that age, and then somebody who's trying to navigate an already incredibly challenging time.
So switching gears here for a second, Lyft, the pink mustache springs to mind with Bake by Melissa. There's the tie-dye, which I was pleased to see Melissa's in full character here. You know, how much of that is important as you're kind of trying to be customer focused, like having that kind of fun personality as a brand?
I mean, I think the early days of Lyft, for sure. Like, it was just the pink mustache coming out, to your point. It just was this whole new, like, we're not going to take ourselves too seriously, even though we're helping you, you know, get to places that are really important to you. And the brand has evolved from there, and we're going to continue to evolve because our customers have evolved. And so today, the pink mustache doesn't, you know, make as much sense because, like, hey, it doesn't matter if you're 24 and working, like, you're getting picked up to go to the airport. Like, you don't really want to go to the airport with a pink mustache on the front of your car, you know? So we've evolved, and the brand is going to continue to evolve because our customers have evolved. But I think that especially, like, when you're kind of like the smaller player, you have to punch above your weight and do things that are sort of untraditional, that your customers feel either they feel seen or they feel like they can be a part of now, and it brings community or something. But you have to do those actions that really help you, you know, stand out.
I did promise my team that I would tell you we really want to work with you guys.
Let's do it.
So, you know, you could partner with like really lovable brands that have a really big reach on social media and do something amazing.
I have 10 ideas for us already.
Great. So check. I did that.
Making the magic happen. So Brian, you've had an interesting career. You know, you were at Meta, you were at Airbnb, you've been at other places. What is one thing you've learned at these spots that you've that stuck with you, that you've taken with you through your career?
I think that I think of them as like chapters. Like, each chapter I've learned something new, which is great, and I want to keep learning, and learning new stuff just being here right now on this panel. I think that one of the biggest things, and this probably came from, like, I started early days in CRM. Like, I spent a lot of, like, you know, was like doing like data analytics and modeling and all that stuff. And then when I moved to Apple, it was that moment where this notion of product and marketing should be seamless, and like the detail that we spent on like designing an arrow for the opening of the packaging, like just we were obsessed about what that experience would be like. And I think that was probably the most formative moment in my career of understanding that the details of the experience matter. Like, you can talk about segmentation, you can talk about modeling, you can talk about all these things, but you actually have to obsess about the experience in order for it to matter.
Okay, great. That's really cool. Well, let's open it up to questions. The lady right over here. Nate, you have a... Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much, y'all. So first, I sit at the intersection of conflict and culture as a speaker, and the number one thing is people do not have the skills to navigate conflict in a healthy way, and especially kids, because they're out here, they were on social media for 3 years doing it in a very anonymous way, and now that bleeds into they can't ask someone out because they don't know how to handle rejection positively. Their parents haven't taught them the skill set. So 100% agree with you on that. So Brian, this question is for you. I own also a small tech company, and we always talk about competitors, and you know, you have Uber and they have a little bit more money, a little bit more, few dollars, few pesos more, and we see other people coming into your area. What would you tell a small business when it comes to competitors that might have more money, of ways that they can, like you said, punch above their weight class? And respectively, I can't remember your name, the cupcake woman? Melissa. And so anything that you would give that could help people punch above their weight when it comes to people that have more money, for more, that they could put more eyes on their product?
Yeah, what a great question. I would say know thyself is the most important thing. And that's also known as brand identity. You know, it's like really, really, really understand who you are, because then it makes it so much easier to make decisions of like, nope, that's not me, that's them. Like, or like, hey, you get the customer feedback. Is that on something that has to do with you? Or does it have something to do with like the category at large? Like, just really focusing on like, what's your rubric for who you are and how to make decisions. And then I think on like tricks of like, just look for the thing that is like, if it's someone's telling you the thing you have to do is the traditional thing, don't listen to that person, would be my advice.
And also, I just think you're so great, because like I so agree with everything that you're saying, and I've done a lot of panels, and it's just so refreshing.
I say we're gonna go on the road together.
Yeah, and I'm not just kissing your ass because I want to do something fun. I swear. Also, somebody once told me that the big guys want to be like the little guys, and the little guys want to be like the big guys. And I think of that every single day. So use what you have and be the little guy, and everything Brian said, because know who you are. The big guys, you know, they lose that.
It's beautiful. Okay, lady in front.
Hi, I'm Shira. I started a brand called Nightcap. It's a drink spiking prevention company, and they're scrunchies that cover your drink at the bar, so we got to replace yours because I know you're wearing a black scrunchie in your hair. Anyway.
Always, every day.
Yes. You are not. You are not, but we got to get these in the hands of some Lyft riders.
Yes.
So when they go to the bar, they can be safe. Anyway, my question is, you're going to say something?
Let's talk.
Let's definitely talk. We just passed a bill and helped pass a bill in California. So every bar in the state of California is going to require having drink covers starting July 1st.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Anyway, my question for you guys is, as a consumer, who are you guys obsessed with? What brand are you obsessed with, and what impact has that brand made on you guys?
It's a great question. Come on.
I'll say, so this is actually a very traditional brand, but what they did recently, I was like, all respect, which is Nike Air Force One. So it was the 40 years. So those that you guys, many in the room don't remember this, but when they launched Air Force One 40 years ago with Michael Jordan, the NBA, Jordans, what did I say? Oh, Jordans, I'm so sorry. When they launched, thank you, Jordan ones. So when they launched them, they were banned by the NBA, or they said, or you have to pay a fine. and Nike was like, we're going to pay the fine. And they did. And then they ended up not getting banned. But in December, for the 40 years, they banned the shoes on the website and like on Jordan's statue. Like, it was just like this really cool activation of like banning their own product, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's gutsy.
Yeah.
Melissa, anyone you're obsessed with?
I get asked this question all the time, like when I'm interviewing candidates for open positions, and I suck at answering it. So, like, Chomps, they have good copy on their packaging.
Well,
But like that's not a good answer. I need to like figure out a better answer.
I kind of geek out over company names. So I went for a jog today and like, walking the streets. I went for a jog and I passed by this one business. It was called Doggy Hauser, and it was like a doggy house, like play dog thing.
We know who they're going after.
It's so brilliant.
It's like
Doggy
right. It's like
Hauser.
we know
Yeah.
Doggy Hauser, but like I don't.
Doogie Howser.
Right.
But it's like a play on. It's a play on Doogie Howser, but it's
Right.
cute and it's sort of very fitting.
It's
So
great.
I love when like the brand can kind of like get to their customer in a fun little punny way. So
I like to ask my team to do that all the time. Like just come on, make them chuckle. Like trigger emotion, curiosity, something. Like it's so they did
Yes,
it.
They made me chuckle at like 5 o'clock in the morning. This is good. Yes, sir.
Oh, you
We
were
have
lucky.
we actually have a break after this, but I think we have a little more time. So why don't we? Can you ask?
It's like it's very funny.
So first, shout out to Lyft. I use Lyft regularly. Use it this morning.
Thank you.
So, as you're well aware, Delta's partnership with Lyft is ending, which is sad because I'm a SkyMiles member. So, how do you think that partnership ending is going to impact customer obsession? Do you feel like there's going to be a significant drop in customers?
Oh, such a good question. I'm like, which way do I answer this? Like totally honest and or like always honest, but it sucks. So I'll put that out there, and it gives us an opportunity to think about obsessing our customers in a new way is what I'll do, because I am also an optimist. Like, I grew up in Flint, Michigan. I have zero right to be on this stage. Like, there was no path that this was going to happen. So like the only thing I have for me is like optimism in life and that anything is possible. So I believe that it gives us the opportunity to obsess about our customers in a new way. And I feel sad for people that live in Atlanta because that's going to be a really bummer.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm so sorry, everyone. We can definitely do questions toward the back of the audience or the back of the room. Anyway, thank you so much, Melissa,
There are
Ryan.
Thank you.
Oh,
There are cupcakes on the bar.
cupcakes.
Okay.
Take my Melissa
over
cupcake.
here.
This bar.
This is the bar.
Bar over here.
Thank you all.
So if anybody has never had baked by Melissa, go check them out because they are
Delicious.
delicious.